Being here, you know, it's usually an advantage going at the end at every other racetrack, but here these guys go out towards the tail end of the field. Okay, guys, you got to make it on time. You get one lap. Oh, by the way, this is the slickest the racetrack is going to be all day. So
Yeah.
go ahead and good luck.
And have fun.
Exactly, and have fun with it. And that's, you know, I was talking to my teammate Patrick Carpentier about that yesterday. Some things that Dale Jarrett taught me. They're so easy to overdrive these corners for qualifying because you want to get that extra little bit. So I just really try to tell my teammate, look, it's going to be hot and slick. You're going out late. Make sure you get off turn 2 and turn 4 as best you can. Don't overdrive it. Make that straightaway as long as you can. If you do that, you're going to have a great chance of making this race for Sunday.
The one thing that your teammate Patrick Carpentier has got going for him is you guys got some fast cars here, and I look for him to be one of these the faster guys in this group.
Yeah, he usually does a pretty good job qualifying.
That's what I was going to say. He's a great qualifier. So does he listen when you talk to him?
He does.
Yeah.
A lot of times he don't understand what I'm saying. Maybe the language barrier sometimes breaks down.
Yeah, he's got an accent, right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm in good shape.
Between Emporia, Virginia, and the French-Canadian, yeah, it may be a little tough to understand you two talking. Here's the 08 car, Johnny Sauter. This is the car owned by John Carter, veteran Tony Furr. As back sort of wrenching this car, trying to get him in the show.
Yeah, this is going to be, a very marginal lap here. We see he struggled getting through the corners, and obviously that hurt him down the straightaways then. He's going to clock in at 51.80, so...
That's the slowest of the cars that's actually timed in. We've got Regan Smith that did not finish a lap.
Yeah, they were 45th on the speed charts of the 47 cars that are here. And again, folks, a reminder to
get that today because of this draw, but it gives him a fair opportunity to make this race on time.
Ellie, you said on the pole here before, you know how important that is and what a big shot in the arm it is, but what about your chances to win this thing tomorrow? A lot of people are saying your team, you and Casey, you guys are going to be very, very good, and should either one could be threats.
You know, and I talked about this yesterday, and I've been able to win a couple races in my career, but I think sitting on the pole and leading the race here at the All-State 400 a couple years ago was one of the proudest moments of my life, and just goosebumps and just feeling that adrenaline, just leading it because nobody's in front of you. You got fans on both sides of you, and it's just a great place to run at. So, you know, we would love to have a chance to win the race and run good and have a chance to kiss those bricks. I've seen my teammate do it, and I would love to have that opportunity on Sunday. I'd love to give it to my team because they've worked so hard back at the shop building this new car to come to this race to give ourselves a fair chance of winning it. So that would be awesome to make that happen.
Those are the words of Elliott Sadler, and a lot of people believe that he will be a major factor, Alf. Very good in practice, and of course right now his car number 19, 6th overall. Front row, Joe Nemechek on the clocks.
Yeah, he had a close encounter with the wall coming off of turn 2, as a number of drivers have. We see Joe clocks in 31st right now at a 50.82. Nobody has run a second lap, but to this point, looks like Joe's after that second lap. I can't imagine the loss of grip that there's any chance, unless you really mess up, that there's any chance that you can run faster on this second one, Elliott.
Plus, you got to run so much.
We can do it. I'm sure you guys will be the first to know.
We'll be watching you for sure. Go back to your win, though, real quick. What it was like to win here at Indianapolis.
Oh, it was fantastic. I mean, it was probably one of the greatest wins ever, and especially it came at a key time in my career.
I was back in 2002. We'll let you get going. I know he's focused right now. We'll have to keep an eye on this 21 Ford Doc as he makes his way down pit road.
Awesome, Bill. Yet to go in qualifying. Here is Jason Leffler, one of the 7 drivers who will go back and forth and do a little bit of double duty. Bit of a wiggle there coming out of the corner.
Yeah, well, we've seen that happen quite a bit here. Back to Bill Elliott a second. I know that he and Terry Labonte are good friends, but he was a huge fan of his right there, hoping that Terry Labonte was going to put down a good lap so that he might have the backup of that past champions provisional. But Terry, I don't believe, got in a lap that's going to allow that. So Bill pretty much knows now he has to go out there and put down a lap if he's going to race with the Wood brothers here tomorrow.
See Jason Leffler's lap. We're comparing that to Patrick Carpentier's lap, which is the fastest of these guys that have to make it on speed.
Mark Martin. Yeah, Mark Martin is our guest here in the pit studio. Mark, we were talking about the luck of the draw and going early where it's cooler versus later in the day, but we've gotten some cloud cover now moving across with this front.
Had obligations to do fewer races, more like 15 in 2009, and I'm having too much fun to do 15 races. I wanted to do more. I certainly was not looking for a full-time schedule, but when Rick started talking to me about doing this deal, I told him, I can't do a full-time schedule, but he kept working it and working it and working it, and he finally got me wanting it, just like selling a good used car. And once he got me wanting to drive that car, there was nothing that was going to stop me. I mean, I want to be teammates with Jeff Gordon and Jimmy Johnson and Dale Jr. and be a part of the Hendrick Motorsports organization in the worst way. And I think any race car driver that had the opportunity to do that would do it. And you know, it's not a long-term, full-time deal. You know, I can look at it as catch my breath the rest of this year. I've had 2 years to really catch my breath. And I get a chance to drive some of the best stuff on the racetrack going forward, and being a part of that organization is actually the biggest honor and compliment that I've ever had in my career at this stage in the
I think that's the good news. Yeah, you do have the same equipment.
That is the good news, Andy. That's right, and it's going to be a blast to be a part of that thing. But you know, my expectations are not really focused on the championship. I want to win a race, and you know, you have to win one to win two. Everybody says, what about more? You can win more than that. I'm not worried about that. If I get one, then we'll start worrying about two. You know, I'd just love to win, you know, win another race, and I really would like to win a race in the Army car with the 8 bunch. They are due, and you know, they've had frustrations. They really stuck through last year when Dale was leaving, and they kept it together. It's a great race team. It's a race team that can win races, and I would like to experience that with them.
Well, we think you're going to win a race for the years out, and that championship, I think, can be a major factor in 09. Here's Stanton Barrett trying to get his car qualified. Got to Daytona, was running fourth in the qualifying race at the beginning of the year and was caught up in someone else's accident, so trying to get his car qualified here. And you saw the numbers at the top of the show, how important it is for a team like his to get in this race, because it paid $140,000+ just to start a year ago.
Boy, Martin, you see how harsh that car was riding, though. This is going to be tough for Stanton to make the race with that car handling like that.
Yeah, that left front was bouncing up. Something terrible. I don't know. They're missing something there on their bump stops or their shocks or something.
And this is the first car that we've seen try to attempt a second lap. He's still on it so far.
We are being told there are sprinkles of rain in turn 2. We showed you the clouds moving in a moment ago and how the clouds help cool off the racetrack, but the rain doesn't help at all.
If it's light, it really won't hurt anything much with it.
No, we've tended to keep going during sprinkles in the past, but if it gets heavy, and you know, that's the thing about this racetrack, it can get heavy in one turn and be sun shining on the other one, so the track workers have to keep a really close watch on that for us.
Still 4 cars to go after Stanton Barrett. All for Marcus Ambrose and the Tad Geschecter Brad Doherty team. Their Ford, Roush Yates horsepower.
That was only his 3rd lap on the racetrack at speed. Wow. He said he'd only made 2 laps before that. That's incredible.
Just imagine how good he's going to be when he gets 4 or 5 laps.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Brad Doherty's already working magic. All right, here he is. It's the first time that he's been a car owner, and they're getting their car in the Brickyard 400.
Tony Raines, next car to go out. Another one of the native Hoosiers, LaPorte, Indiana, in the 34 car.
Once again, one of these teams that, you know, they've been around more than like a Stanton Barrett, but just makes it so difficult to come in here, big race like this where everybody has their very best equipment. They haven't been racing that much. Tony is a really good race driver. I would like to see him get an opportunity and some really good equipment to show everyone what he can do. But this is the most difficult situation he's probably been in quite a while.
Okay, we're still looking at Scott Riggs as being the next one to lock in if Tony doesn't beat Scott. That's why we're tracking his lap against Riggs.
Car is owned by Bob Jenkins out of Dandridge, Tennessee. Tony attempting to make his 119th career start in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series.
He's got some work to do if he's going to get in this race.
Again, these are the cars that have to get in on time and speed. There's 12 of them. 8 will make it in, 4 will not.
Stanton Barrett's already been bumped from the field.
And you really see these cars, a lot of these guys, the cars have a different attitude. And that means, I think Elliott Sadler in here telling us about the new generation car that they have. It's just everything that they find, they're able to implement that. And this is probably a car these guys have had all year long in trying to make it work here.
This learning curve is so steep.
With short term, we're looking long term. I think a guy with veteran type skills would be a good fit. At the same time, I think a young driver, maybe plucking somebody out of the Busch series that's shown potential, Nationwide series has shown potential, would be the right candidate. So we're going to look in all areas, and the good thing is it's still July. We still have plenty of time to find the right driver.
Final car to qualify, and this is very important for a number of drivers here. J.J. Yaley in the 96 car, 47th and final car to go.
Comparing his lap to Terry Labonte, he's in the green so far to Terry's lap. He's got about a 10th and a half separation. Losing a little bit getting into turn 3.
The car that he would knock out would be the 21 of the Wood brothers of Bill Elliott.
It's going to be close right here, guys.
If he
It's a
doesn't,
nail biter here.
yeah, if he doesn't beat Terry Labonte, then Bill Elliott's going to get in also. So this is literally driving your way in. And it looks like he's going to do it.
He just does it. Good news for J.J. Yaley.
Yeah.
Bad news for Bill Elliott.